If you are a 20 or higher handicap and keep almost breaking 90, I have some great news. You're already good enough to break 90. You just need to stop making these 5 dingus mistakes and you'll start tapping into the 80s pretty regularly. Now we're going to start around the green and work our way back to the tee box. And by the time we're done with these 5 tips, you're going to be equipped with everything you need to break 90 on your next round of golf. Let's get to it. Dingus move number 1 is 3-putting the ball. Most of the time this is caused by a bad lag putt. So we're going to go over 3 techniques to help you do a better job at lag putting. So number 1, we're looking at the hole. We're imagining what it would take to throw the ball to the hole with our lead hand. And as we make our putting stroke, we're visualizing ourselves throwing the ball to the hole. Number 2, we're going to look at a point halfway between where we're hitting and the hole. We're going to figure out how firm we need to hit the ball to go to that point, and then we're going to double it. And the third one, when we stroke the putt, we're not even looking at the ball, we're staring at the hole. I'm gonna try all these 3. I want you to try all 3, figure out which one is giving you better lag putts, and that's gonna eliminate a lot of 3 putts out on the course for you. Let's try it out. All right, so we got a 50-footer here, and this first one, we're just imagining throwing the ball at the hole. And then the second one here, we're looking at a halfway point. And just imagine we need to hit it twice as far as that halfway point. Pretty good distance there, the line sucked. Third one, I'm just gonna stare at the hole and not the ball and see how that does for me. So for a 50-footer, that's not bad at all. Use those 3 techniques on the practice green, see which one works better for you, and you're gonna get rid of a lot of 3 putts out on the course. Dingus move number 2 is with your chipping. A lot of people when they're chipping, they're trying to flop it up there or they're trying to scoop the ball. Now the problem with scooping the ball is when you swing, the club head is often coming up at the ball or just barely bottoming out right around the ball. You're much more likely to hit a bladed shot or hit it super fat. In terms of chipping and breaking 90, scooping the ball is probably your issue. So what you want to do when you line up to the ball, you're going to line it up more to your back foot. You're going to line up with your hands a little bit ahead of the ball. And when you do your chipping stroke, you're just kind of going to let that club head drop on the ball. Make sure that the bottom of the club arc, the lowest point of the club, it's got to be after the ball. So we're going to just make sure the club head drops on the ball here. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done. You're not gonna 3-putt from there. If that's too much for you to think about, if that feels a little complicated, if you have any green at all to work with, just take a lower lofted club. That was my 58 I just hit. Now I'm gonna hit my pitching wedge, and instead of doing the ball in the back, hands ahead of the ball, drop the club head on the ball, I'm just gonna line it up in the middle. I'm gonna choke up on the club, and I'm just doing a putting stroke. Just as if I was holding a putter in my hands. Make smart decisions, know what you're doing with your wedges, and it's gonna make the game a whole lot easier. That's dingus move number 2. Let's go on to partial wedges. Third is very simple. We're working with partial wedges. You just have to know exactly what a 50-yard shot feels like. So if you're not familiar with that, you can either go to your range, find a 50-yard target, and just hit a bunch of balls until you can get it to 50 yards over and over again. Or if you have a practice area like this, find a 50-yard target and just hit a bunch of balls until you know what 50 yards feels like. Because once you know that, you know how to hit 30, 40 yards, you know how to hit 60, 70 yards. You're gonna start getting a lot closer with your partial wedges and making it a lot easier to get your bogey or even save par.
So I didn't want to cut the video in the edit at all, so you guys can see I know what a 50-yard shot feels like. I didn't have to try this a bunch of times to get the right result for you. I recorded the audio, stepped up to the shot, and hit a 50-yard shot. Once you know 50, it makes 30 or 40 a lot easier. It makes 60 or 70 a lot easier because they're micro adjustments from the 50 that you know.
50 yards on the button, first try. Know that distance. Look at that, pin high, just a couple yards left. Have a chance to get it up and down from 50 yards. You should be able to do that. All right, dingus move number 4 is you're leaving your iron short on your approach shots. If you take a look into the shot database from Arcos and all that data, the vast majority of golfers who can't break 90 are leaving their approach shots short. So if you play like the majority of golfers who can't break 90, your approaches are usually missing short. You don't need to play a better golf to fix that. You just need to choose a different target or play a longer club. For example, if you're going after a pin that's on the front or even the middle, say that's 150 yards away and that's normally your 7-iron or your 6-iron. Plan on hitting it long. If you're like statistics show, you're missing short most of the time. If you want to make sure this is true for you, just download the 18 Birdies app. It gives you all that data. You enter in if you miss the green, short, right, left, or long on every hole, and you'll collect that data and you'll know if this applies to you. But 90% of the time, if you can't break 90, this does apply to you. By the way, if you are serious about getting better and working that handicap down, breaking 90, 80, and beyond, I'm developing an app right now called the Scratch app. It's gonna help you walk you through your practice sessions to help you get better ball striking, better contact, so you can work your scores down. If you want to be one of the first to use that app, there's a link right here, and it's in the description as well. You can check that out. Okay, so play a longer iron, aim for the back of the green, not the pin. And there is one little caveat to that. If the pin's in the very back of the green, or if there's trouble in the back of the green and you don't want to be short-sighted on the flag, or you don't want to be risking hazard, it's okay to be short. It's not the end of the world, but you're going to hit more greens if you plan to play the longer club when it's safe. Okay, so play a longer iron, aim for the back of the green. All right, that's dingus move number 4. On to the last one before we hit the course. Dingus move number 5, and one of the most critical errors stopping you from breaking 90 is getting penalties off the tee. So you got to pay attention to where the hazards are. Sometimes they're on the sides, sometimes they're if you hit the ball too long. Pick a club and a shot that you know is not going to give you a penalty. It's okay to tee off with an iron. Your friends aren't going to make fun of you, and you're going to get better scores because of it. So if you pay attention to where the OB or the hazard is, usually there's a huge safety area that's going to keep you safe. You just got to be okay with missing the fairways. Fairways aren't a big deal. You don't need to hit fairways. You just need to avoid the trouble, and your scores are going to plummet. That's the 5 dingus moves stopping you. Let's get out on the course and try it out, and I'll walk you through them as we're playing through 9 holes. Let's do it.